Well, hi, Trinny.
We are just going to do a homage to one of my favourite style icons, Diane Keaton. And here she is in all her glory, a woman who I have probably seen 80% of her films, and she has inspired me endlessly with so many elements of who she was as a woman. The fact she didn't compromise a woman, the fact that she had so many iterations of her life, the fact that she evolved in her style, the fact that she was never ever invisible as a woman. And there is so much she did with her life, but we are going to focus today on the inspiration of her also physically, because she's celebrated in her 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, even more than when she was younger. She became more and more visible. And that to me is what every single woman should be thinking about, especially if you watching now are feeling a little bit invisible. Think about what visibility for yourself does for you, and then how that reverberates around. Because when I think of her, and I think of how many generations this woman inspired, it was because she was so present in herself, and she was the kind of woman you looked at and you knew how much she loved herself. So I personally love her style, and I'm starting with a classic look. I think she wore this on the Late Night Show, and it's how I think of her, in a hat and always with a little bit of that makeup that she probably first developed in the sort of 60s, 70s. She was born, I think, in 49. So, you know, that was her first experience of that kind of makeup. She always had quite a matte face. She loved an oversized white shirt. She did masculinity with a feminine touch. So when I say things like that, and we take it and break it down to dressing, it's about doing a suit, but belting it. It's about remembering we have a waist. She had a very different figure from me. Diane Keaton had endlessly long American legs and a short waist, and I have got a long waist and rather short legs. So I'm trying to redistribute my body shape using a belt, and that's a practical thing you can take away, because I've made you think my waist is higher. The way she always played with cuffs. She would always have the cuff coming out. It would always be oversized. It might be dangling down, it might be pulled back up. The shoes were never a feature. They would just elongate and give shape to form. So if you look at things here, her shoes generally are always an extension of the colour of what she's wearing. Once or twice, she sort of did a little peep toe or a little nice cute stiletto. And even though she was a Hollywood star, she was also just a woman walking around the streets and leading her life. She spent some years where she wasn't that much in the public eye, but that never compromised how she dressed as a woman. She was so true to her own style. I mean, this is one of my favourite films with Jack Nicholson, and I love this white on cream. She did white on cream a lot, black and white. She was classic peaches and cream with blue eyes and a blonde hair. So she could wear black, white, burgundy, grey, cream and white together. She could wear blues she looked amazing in. But that is the palette. There's not much print. The print comes in very small elements, like the little print of the tie. So, shall we get started?
Yes, please.
I'm so excited. This is, I can't remember if it's Zara or Saint Laurent, because I have two that are similar. This is from Frankie's shop. This is from my hat shop in Spain. This is a 20-year-old Fendi belt, and my God, I can hardly breathe in it. And this is an oversized shirt from Sportsmax. The shoes are really old shoes. I haven't worn little boots from Prada for years, and these are from Sakai.
How's the makeup, Trinny?
So the makeup, I decided to be a little bit more matte than normal. So I used a lot of Miracle Blur over my light foundation, and then I did a very neutral lip, and I put some blonder hair extensions in just to get that look. And she always did this smoky eye, but I've softened it, because I think sometimes when you learn to do a smoky eye in the 80s, as we did when we launched Line Define, you do a hard thing. So I went hard, and then I took a brush and I just softened it around my eye.
I love that you've taken inspiration from your wardrobe and you've created something very similar to what she would wear.
I know, and we've got a rail of things here. Polka dots, checks, white and black. Over here we've got accessories, belts, polka dot scarves. Over here we've got the brightly coloured gloves. And she always wore these quirky glasses. She would have that sort of semi-tint glass like that.
This is so her.
You know, and it brings me such joy wearing this look. I want all of you at the end of this to go out and just think there's something in every woman's wardrobe that you can put together. It's very simple things that are put together. So should we do another one?
Let's do it.
Yes. When I'm looking at things, I'm looking at the way she tied scarves, because we can all tie a scarf like that. But what I love is the scarf is really filling around her neck. Scarves were a lady's best friend always, to just bring life to your face here like this. I got this scarf in Bhutan, and to also cover what you wanted to cover.
Yeah.
But I actually have never thought of wearing a bright colour with white, and it's giving me the inspiration. And then the gloves, the idea of the gloves. This becomes and winterizes something that's quite summery. You see, that again does work. She did love to give the femininity, because this could be a bit masculine. So I'm going to belt it, but I'm going to belt it with white. So I'm going to undo the suit. I'm just going to fold it so it becomes more fitted. Do need a shoe. I can't see what she was wearing on the bottom half. I'm just going to do a trainer. She would have done a trainer so often like that. I'm not going to put my feet right into the trainer, because Diane Keaton's legs were much longer than mine. So I'm going to pretend my legs are longer. Let's get a white Panama. Molly, she might have done a white Panama. What do you think? Or what about the ones on the left there? Do you see the ones on the left there? Yeah, just chuck them off there. Chuck them off. Thank you so much. Okay. But you know, I just think, I always wonder, did she have hair that she felt the need?
Are you okay, Molly?
At least Molly didn't go down the staircase, and I didn't go down the staircase. This is something I'd never thought of wearing. And this is what I love about being inspired by somebody. I'm asked often who inspires you in your dressing. Generally, I say real women, or Tilda Swinton, or Kate Blanchett. But Diane Keaton, I have said in the past, and it makes you experiment. So I think that's the joy of seeing somebody who dresses not for fashion, not for the catwalk, not to be the latest person like we've seen in the last month of everyone at these fashion shows wearing outrageous clothing, but somebody who's really found their style. You know, she's going, hey, it's me, I'm here. And also, you know, gloves give you something.
They do.
Yeah.
Trinny, when you're wearing this, do you feel comfortable? Do you feel like you, or do you feel like you are dressing up as someone else?
Well, these are all things from my own wardrobe. It's like when Lila dressed me. I did not feel me, I just saw myself a different way. But it was with the comfort of my wardrobe, but viewing it differently. So I think sometimes if you haven't got a Lila in your life, think of somebody where you think, I'm so inspired by them. You know, we put all these pictures up, and I know you said to me, we can just show that online. But I thought, as I'm dressing, I want to look at her, and I want to be inspired by this woman and bring her into the room and go, yes, this is her. Because then when I'm wearing it, I feel the confidence she had in those clothing. Well, hello. I love this look. Now, this is inspired by Diane when she had a much shorter blonde hair and she had a fringe. I nearly want to sort of give myself a little fringe. I put a few hair bits in my hair. But I don't want to become her. I think the inspiration here is just how... Does my hair look weird like that?
A little.
A little bit. Should we just put it back how it was?
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
Trinny's back.
All right. So, yes, it's about an interpretation. I love white and cream, and some of us suit white, some suit cream, and some suit ecru. So this is ecru, and that's white. And so I can wear ecru if I have white underneath. Pearls live in every world. Pearls illuminate the face in a more subtle way than diamonds. And it's just comfortable footwear, because this is that element of she's always off somewhere. She always has tremendous energy. And if you compare the energy that she brings and brought throughout her life compared to women on the catwalk tottering in a heel, you know, this is probably going to a chat show or a red carpet moment, and she's either in a sort of really comfortable high heel or she's in a trainer, and she looks perennially cool. It's about that mixture of fabrics. These trousers ideally would be longer, but I think that it's using evening fabrics of silk. This is a Zara coat from about 3 years ago. These are Serena Butte trousers from about 10 years ago. These are a mixture of necklaces from Venice, from Zara, and from Chanel. So it's about just throwing stuff on and feeling, have I got that joy in the outfit? I stole these glasses from Lila. But the idea when you want to be really outgoing but have a bit of privacy is why I sometimes wear a lightly tinted sunglass. And also, as we go down the path of life, our features around our eyes maybe are not as strong, and glasses frame your face. They allow me to wear this in the evening and not feel too pretentious, because you can see my eyes, but I've just brought a different look to the outfit. Would you do that at night, Jemima?
I haven't, but I would consider.
Yeah, would you consider it, Molly?
What, doing a glass at night?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
You do it all the time.
Yeah.
It's just, it's quite an interesting thing. It just gives you, I think it gives me a feeling of confidence. sometimes when I sort of go to a place, like I've got to go somewhere tonight. Would I wear this tonight out, going to an event where there's lots of people I don't know? Well, I think I might think, hell yeah.
I was quite surprised.
I put hair in, and now Molly said to me, Trinny, they're sticky and they'll last a while. They're just sticky.
Have you glued some hair in?
Diane's hair has been getting in the way a bit, so I'm just trying to do a side parting because I wanted to just be homaging Diane.
Yeah.
More. So when I looked at everything, I thought to myself, I love that. I've started with what I've loved the most, which is interesting. This, to me, works really well if you are long-legged, big boobs. You know what I mean? It's that classic hourglass shape. Susanna would do this. And so for me, I'm thinking, does it suit me? Because do I have that sort of boob in which to do it? So this is more homaging Diane, but I'm not thinking this is something I would walk around. Well, obviously not with the hair attached to the end of my finger. Let's just put that away. This is a 20-year-old Alice Temperley skirt, all right? And the idea of having a smart skirt with a white shirt is as old as the Edwardian women of England, even older. But it was really made famous at that time when Edwardian women went from being sort of boned and corseted to boned less. They had a little bustle sometimes, but there was this kind of schoolmarmery sexiness about their outfits. And I think that's what I do like, and that sort of slightly opening more, and I could do more deep cleavage. This is a necklace that I wore at my wedding. Literally every single thing that I have on is probably about 20 years old, apart from the shirt, which is from Temperley. You know, it's a homage to my life through clothes. One thing is to totally replicate somebody you find iconic, and the other is, how would I actually wear this? So if I think to myself, I wouldn't walk out in this, so what would I do? So this is probably, and I might just do a bit more rock and roll hair like that, but keeping the choker on. Actually, this belt is meant to be worn this way. So wearing it this way, a little Oasis t-shirt, which always makes me feel a bit rock and roll, and then I might just put my Sakai jacket on top. And what I might also do, and we might be stepping away from her, Diane, but I oddly think if she came into my wardrobe today, she might say, Trinny, I'd wear that. And I'll just wear my hair.
Yeah.
Like that.
This
So
is very
that
you.
would be my sort of inspired by Diane, but being me.
Yeah, she did a mix of soft and strong very well, and I think you do that well. But I think you both look very happy in your outfits.
Yeah.
Like all of her outfits, she's really happy.
She's so happy.
And I
isn't
think
she?
this makes you really
Yeah,
happy.
this makes you really happy. I mean, this is like, I could go for dinner tonight.
Really
And I
cool.
love the fact that I haven't worn this necklace for ages, and the idea of wearing this little choker, you know, maybe I'd even make my eyes a bit more rock and roll. Like
You
that.
would.
I would. I mean, that's me doing me with Diane. This is really interesting because this is kind of all put together just to kind of create the look. It's a very long jacket I got in Italy somewhere, but I've just literally tucked it up. But I'm trying to sort of get inspiration from here. This, I think, is her inspiration from the 70s, because it's the very high-waisted, wide-leg jean, but she's done it with like a biker boot, which wouldn't have been so 70s. But there's a feeling to this when I'm just looking at myself in the mirror of just don't give a shit girl feeling good girl. You know, like it's all thrown together, and yet I'm feeling great in it. When we have a sort of perimenopausal tummy, we get scared of wearing high-waisted if we're a short-waisted woman with long legs. And I think this is where you just say, let the fuck go. It doesn't matter. Think of the joy of feeling cool in that outfit, of that jean that you hark back from another era, but you can still wear today, because she's updated that look by wearing it with the biker boot. And by making that jean, instead of a sort of bell bottom, it's actually a sort of wide leg jean. So I think it makes it incredibly current. And there's a casual ease as she goes to her fabulous pickup truck. Look, it's a really cool, I really like her car. If I was walking around in London, I gave away actually the perfect jacket just like that at the sale. And I'm thinking I might crop this because I love checks over plain. And I haven't done that. I would only normally do this over a white t-shirt. Putting a scarf around, getting those different textures in your outfit. There's quite a lot of texture going on here for her.
I think this is very authentic to you though, Trinny, and I think a lot of women could recreate this look especially.
Especially
jeans,
this
jacket.
is that jean that I have, Molly has, Dido had. We all bought this jean for $29.99 from Zara about 7-8 years ago. This is a jumper I got, God knows where I got. This is a scarf I've had for years, and the hat's from Rhonda. Glasses I got whenever. Belts from Zara. You know, it's like just putting things together in a new way and being inspired by an iconic woman. So thank you, Diana, for everything you gave us. I wanted to do that look, but I don't have a white bucket hat. But just our creative director was on this shoot with Annie Leibovitz, and he met her at this shoot. And I just want to include that picture because she looks so whimsical and feminine and just totally ageless as a woman. It's all about her and not her clothes, actually.
Yeah, and we were
You see
listening
that?
to a podcast and they said the best role she played was herself.
Oh my God,
which was such
I'm
a
so glad
nice.
you remembered that, Jemima.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just think that's so true.
Anyway, we hope this inspired you because we loved doing it. The room is now a wreck, so we better put it back together. Until next time.
Thanks, Trinny.
Bye.